Oh,
All right.
don't do the marker. I promise you, I never see it. The marker just doesn't.
Never mind.
It doesn't do anything.
Force a habit.
It is a force of habit. I've had to stop like my hand from going, and I'm like, don't go. By the way, you guys can see my hand because you can see us. Hey! Isn't that a great segue?
That is such a great segue. So anyway, welcome to Story Sirens, the podcast where we deep dive into myths and legends, filling your ears with knowledge of the unknown. If we have that knowledge. Sometimes the myths are just that, a supernatural phenomenon with no clear answer, but a wild and captivating tale.
That's right. Sometimes these myths and legends are so crazy, you can become lost in the stories. Unable to pull yourself away from the unknown.
Losing track of time and place, you wander into the depths of tales.
Hey, Sarah, want to know what we Cubans say to people who are lost in the good, bad, neutral sauce?
I'm very curious.
Estás más perdido que en el Bermuda Triangle.
What on earth does that mean?
It means you are more lost than in the Bermuda Triangle.
Ah! Could this be your segue into today's episode?
Absolutely. I'm full of segues today. So,
I love it.
Before
more
we
segues
start,
than Paul Blart over here.
Before we start, I do want to say we are super excited to be on screen. What?
Hi!
You can see us.
Can you believe this? This is so weird. This is so cool.
This is weird. You're going to see us now. We're going to try to start incorporating ourselves into videos because I figured out how to do that. So
I'm so proud of you. And also, I'm really proud of you for doing that because it means I don't have to.
Yeah. Sarah takes care of all the marketing stuff. Yenny is in the back in the gremlin cave that you see here. These are both our booths. And
both of our booths.
Yeah. Oh, are you on this side? What side am I on for you? Because you're on this side for Sarah?
Yenny? Are you on the other side of the door?
You have to do like the Narnia door that you just open it and you're in Miami.
Yenny! Oh my gosh, it's not a magical wardrobe to a different realm. It's a magical sound studio to a different city/state.
There you go.
Oh my gosh. Listen, all the time, and I know this is stuff that belongs in bonus content, but we'll just pull this out and put it on Instagram for y'all. There are so many times that my husband just waxes poetic about the fact of why don't we have teleportation yet? Why don't we have that figured out?
I don't think it's a good idea.
Because there's so much traveling we want to do. I mean, again, back to that whole emotion and logic, Jared and I both think, that's probably going to end horribly. But in theory, it would be so nice because, you're in Florida, my mom's in Idaho, he has a good friend in Ireland. We're just could we make it to where we could see you without having to drive, sail a ship, fly for hours and hours and hours and hours and just be like, hey, I'm here?
But also, it would be, sail a ship? That'd be a weird sailing.
If we go to Ireland.
Oh, okay. Because I'm like, sail a ship. It's easier to just fly to Florida.
No, I'm just gonna take the Gulf of Mexico and just loop all the way around.
Yeah. There you go.
I'm gonna go to Corpus Christi. Go see Selena.
I'm also just a little bit scared though because I do feel that what if teleportation is the slicing effect that happens on Harry Potter? So I go teleport to you and then my pinky you just have a piece of my pinky.
What is it? Splinching or something like that?
Yeah, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah. It is the what's the word? Eldritch horror.
Oh, you thought technology. I knew that word?
I don't know. You know what Cthulhu is.
Oh yeah, the big monster. Yeah.
Yeah, big monster. That's Eldritch. Whenever it's a horror beyond your understanding and comprehension and even gazing upon it sends you into madness. One, that's Jared's favorite kind of thing. But also, I feel like technology is its own sort of digital Eldritch horror. Okay. And that's why sci-fi is so fun.
Yeah.
But yeah. Teleportation, I'm just there are so many ways that this could be horrific. But I still want it. So
now,
anyway, you want to,
But wait, the teleportation works. The teleportation works because we are talking about that just a little bit today. So this isn't just going to go on Instagram. This is going to go in the episode.
Great.
Oh,
so, folks, I'm so sorry for that little rant. But,
are you?
No. now.
All right. So, guys, this is another episode where our topic legend isn't too far into the past, which is terrifying. In fact, this one is barely over 100 years old.
That's definitely a baby legend for this podcast.
Baby legend for sure. While we are being light on the matter in this intro, there's nothing really light about this rather recent legend. Over 1,000 lives have been lost to the Bermuda Triangle, most notably between the late 1910s and even early 1960s. Our mommies were born.
Yeah, I was going to say, our moms were born then.
Yeah, my mom
Close
came
enough.
out in the 65, but yeah, kind of there.
Yeah, exactly.
Bodies nor wreckage were ever found, and families have been left devastated by the loss and lack of explanation for why it happened and why nothing's been found. What we can tell you from the start is this: there is no definitive reason for many of the unexplained tragedies that have occurred in the past in this part of the sea during that time period.
It is absolutely terrifying, to say the least. We hope that the families of those lost in the Bermuda Triangle find peace and answers. And so we had a little levity at the start of this because this is kind of a hard episode.
This is a little bit of a hard episode. You also get to see us now reading our script, because while you're hearing us, you think that we remembered all of this stuff. Heck no, we gotta read it off of a script. You crazy. So yeah, now you're gonna see our eyes going up and down and around like chameleons, because that's what a voice actor is, a chameleon. You gotta do different things. You gotta look different ways.
I'm going to stop you on that tangent and just circle you back to
the Bermuda Triangle.
Thank you.
Let's learn a little bit more about this dangerous place.
You are so peppy for this.
Sorry, I'm really excited. I've been wanting to do the Bermuda Triangle for so long.
It's just the fact that for me it's so scary. I'm like, okay, all right.
And I'm like, la, 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 la. Okay, the Bermuda Triangle covers around 500,000 square miles. Though some scholars say it covers up to 1 million square miles.
Good grief.
Yeah, so there's don't worry about that part. What is more agreed upon are the boundaries of it: Bermuda, Puerto Rico, and Florida, which when connected give a triangular shape like that, okay? Hence the famous name Bermuda Triangle. It also has been given the names the Devil's Triangle, Limbo of the Lost, and Sarah's favorite, the Twilight Zone.
Not to be confused with the fantastic anthology series from the 1960s.
In this stretch of water, well over 20 aircrafts and over 50 vessels have mysteriously disappeared, with questions more than answers arising as to why.
From ship disappearances with no distress signals ever being sent out, to completely abandoned ships found at sea or reaching shores.
Aircrafts reporting in and then mysteriously vanishing without a trace, to rescue flights also going missing.
And after days, weeks, months, and even years pass, there are still no signs of wreckage. There's nothing recovered, and no whereabouts of the victims for some of these tragedies.
The Bermuda Triangle is dangerous yet captivating to explorers, scientists, and even the government. And while this, of course, come on now.
Yeah.
And while this isn't the only dangerous part of the ocean, because tragedies can definitely happen anywhere at sea, it is the most famous spot in the world because of the lives lost and, again, the lack of answers to explain how and why disaster struck, and where the remains can be found. What scientists and government themselves have done is given possible explanations for the disasters that have occurred.
Shall we talk about them, Yenny?
We shall. Now, first and usual answer that is given for the unfortunate events occurring in the Bermuda Triangle is, obviously, bad weather.
Oh, yes, naturally, because that would just zap away all signs of the wreckage and victims.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
The sea is known to be calm one second and then have major bad weather the next. Usually known as freak storms, there is a particular type of freak storm that is blamed for these tragedies, and that's called microbursts. Microbursts are sudden and powerful downdrafts of air that occur during the thunderstorm. So you'll just have thunderstorm and then just like a whoosh come down.
Oof.
This creates a dangerous and deadly circumstance, especially for aircrafts.
The sudden shift in weather and strong winds can cause turbulence, disrupting the flight and potentially becoming life-threatening. Now, Yenny, as much as I like to roll my eyes, this does sound like a pretty credible reason.
Right, it does. But wouldn't we find some form of wreckage? Something swept off to the shore, you know?
Yep. Yes. Mm-hmm. Makes you think.
Yeah. Freak weather in the form of waterspouts has also been linked to disappearances, and some wreckage that has been found. During severe thunderstorms, tornadic waterspouts can emerge, which are basically tornadoes at sea.
Joy!
If tornadoes on land cause devastation, a tornado at sea can be just as deadly, if not more, to those on a ship, right, Sarah? Because I don't have tornadoes in my side, but...
No, but we live pretty much on the outskirts of Tornado Alley, and at least for a land tornado, you can run into a bunker. You can find somewhere to hide. But there's absolutely nowhere for these poor sailors to hide if a tornadic waterspout hits them. Like, what are they going to do? Hide in the belly of the ship? What's that going to do?
Absolutely. So, I mean, it could very well be a reason for lives lost, but it still doesn't give us what these disappearances might be. So
we want definitive answers, and I already know we're going to be disappointed. But
yeah. All right. There is one more thing that could be blamed for by the weather, and that is the most scariest one. Rogue waves.
I'm already not liking this. As an inland girly, I have so much fear and respect for the sea. I'm just like, listen.
We have a lot of like tragedies happen in the beaches of South Florida because tourists come. And for any tourists coming, you have to pay attention to the flags that you see on the life
the life towers,
like the lifeguard towers. Yeah, you gotta be paying attention to that and like do your research. Check out wherever you go, what are the colors that they're using, because we've had really, really unfortunate events happening to families where children pass or parents pass because they weren't aware, and waves are rough. Like, it gets nasty in a second. It could be super calm, and then all of a sudden, there's like these terrible waves coming in, and they push you back out and then roll you in, so you get stuck. Oh, it's hard. It's hard. Yeah. That's why I don't like the beach. I don't like the beach. I am a pool girly. I will go to the beach because Alex likes to go, but in reality, the only way he gets me there is because he bought the tent, so I can be next to the cooler in the shade, and enjoying jamming. It. He can go be Baywatch. I'm watching him the whole time, and that's it. That's all I do. Yeah, and sand. It gets everywhere.
Okay, Anakin. Okay, let's go back to rogue waves.
Back to rogue waves. Now, sailors tell tales of rogue waves, unexpected and massive waves that can appear in freak weather, or, like I said, even calm seas. Counts of waves reaching well over 70 feet high have been told. And it could be a reason why ships all but disappeared. Now, let's remember that this is more of an answer for smaller boats and vessels back in the 1900s. While some boats were known to have masts over 100 feet high, a rogue wave could just easily still flip them, right?
Yeah.
Currently, don't get scared, cruise ships reach heights of over 240 feet. So you're definitely...
above the waterline.
Yeah, above the waterline. So there's definitely less of a chance for rogue waves to cause any type of disaster.
They'll just cause a lot of seasickness.
Yeah, you will definitely be barfing for a while. That's why always on cruise ships, bring the little stickers in the back of your ears. Woof, that'll help you. And ginger shots. Great to stop that. You're going to have to go. You're going to have to go with me.
Please don't make me do a cruise. Please don't make me do a cruise.
You want to go to Alaska together on a cruise.
I want to go to Alaska together. I never said anything about a cruise.
Oh, that was me.
Yeah. Right.
All right, let's go ahead and step away from the bad weather. There's also something that I'd like to call bad Earth moments.
Bad Earth moments?
Yes. You know, when the Earth decides to cause havoc just 'cause. Earthquakes, tsunamis, and apparently methane gas bubbles.
I'm sorry, what?
You heard me right. Methane gas bubbles are created by methane gas that rises from the ocean floor. This gas turns into a massive bubble underwater that rises until it reaches the surface and explodes.
Oh,
the force
all right.
is so strong that it is capable of, like, destroying boats. The craziest part of all of this, it's unknown where they can occur because there could be methane deposits anywhere. So it's like a disastrous stroke of bad luck.
I'm telling you, the sea can keep its secrets.
The sea can keep its secrets, except mermaids. I want them. I want to be friends with Ariel.
I don't know if she wants to be friends with us.
I don't think so either.
I think she might be kind of mad at us. We
sure.
keep sending them garbage.
This is true. Maybe we shouldn't meet Ariel.
Oh my gosh.
Another reason for tragedy in the Bermuda Triangle is linked to compass malfunctions due to magnetic field disturbances. And while there have been sightings and indications of some more famous stories having stated compass malfunctions, the U.S. Navy and Coast Guard have been pretty solid in saying that supernatural or magnetic field-related answers are unlikely. You see us staring at the camera?
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm. Uh-huh.
Suspicious.
Speaking of supernatural explanations, before we jump into famous tales of vessels and aircrafts that have unfortunately disappeared in the Bermuda Triangle, I will add that another reason people,
and by people, we mean pseudoscientists,
have given is UFOs causing mayhem and taking ships and planes. Now, we don't cover UFO tales in this podcast, but
it's not quite our forte.
Yeah, but I thought it was worth mentioning, and I always do love to see that guy say aliens.
Aliens. Yes. Okay, no, that is good.
How much gel is in that hair? I want to know. I kind of want to touch it.
His hair's full of secrets.
I want to touch it. I just want to see if it, like, I don't know.
Does it move?
Does it move? Is it bouncy?
What product are you using?
Yeah.
All right.
Gorilla glue, I think it is.
Oh, no.
Yeah, actually, there is like a really, I don't know how it's called in English, but it's like moco de gorilla, and it's like an actual, like, and it's gorilla boogers, but it's like an actual, like, product that you use on your hair, but it's called moco de gorilla. I don't know what else is it, but yeah, I just wanted to put that out there. Now, while these potential explanations, including the aliens, could be the answer, we've got another popular reason that guides us into our first famous story involving the Bermuda Triangle, which is manufacturing issues. In comes the mystery of the 1963 disappearance of the SS Marine Sulphur Queen, a T-2 tanker with 39 sailors aboard, 306 feet long, with a 30-foot width and height. This vessel left Beaumont, Texas, towards Norfolk, Virginia, holding 15,260 tons of sulfur in cargo.
Whew.
On February 4th, 1963, near the coast of the Florida Keys, what's up? Crewmen radioed in to give their position. By February 6th, it was listed as missing, and the government searched for 19 days before calling the search and rescue off.
Did they find anything?
All that was found was life preserves and some debris. Nothing else. Now, no ship, no sailors.
I'm sorry. I know I'm not the most organized person, but how do you lose a 306-foot long ship?
Exactly.
Okay.
Reports were made that the ship was not safe and should not have been out at sea due to poor design and maintenance.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, specifically due to the use of cheap steel to weld rivets that essentially hold the boat together. Rivets are used to join pieces of the metal together, and during the 1960s, cheap rivets, called pop rivets, were used to inexpensively maintain a ship, which makes no sense. It's a ship. You should be.
Yeah.
I mean, this also brings me with like airplanes. Like, you will never catch me dead or alive you'll catch me dead in it. Alive, I will not go on a Spirit airplane.
But in what?
Absolutely
Spirit.
not.
Oh, yeah, no.
Absolutely not.
I mean, but this reminds me of our Mothman episode with the Silver Bridge and the fact that like it was blamed on the disaster was blamed on Mothman himself, when a lot of it was manufacturing faults when cheaper products were used, and the end result was death and destruction. Like, that is a common element in these conspiracies and mysteries and supernatural occurrences.
Right. And actually, too, for all of those interested in the sinking of the Titanic, there's a lot of people that blame the cheap rivets being used as a reason why it sunk.
Well, and a lot of that is they didn't have the strength when they struck the iceberg. And so, of course, there's... But, Yenny, there aren't any icebergs in this portion of water that the Bermuda Triangle covers. So let's just go back to this issue. The Titanic has had its debut on the screen and has
we
had
will
plenty
not
of
be
airtime.
Covering it. We won't be covering that
Again, the sea can keep its secrets, and it can keep
Absolutely.
the Titanic now.
Yeah.
Let her rest.
Now, would very bad weather, rogue waves, or methane gas bubbles be enough to have only life preserves and potential debris be left? I don't think so.
Yeah, if the only evidence are life preservers and a little bit of debris, I'm still very skeptical.
Yeah. Now, Sarah, what if I told you this wasn't the only famous disappearance of a vessel in the Devil's Triangle?
Oh, great. Okay, what's next?
Named one of the deadliest disappearances in this part of the sea comes the story of the disappearance of the USS Cyclops.
All right, first off, that name is already doomed. I am highly concerned.
Yes. The USS Cyclops AC-4 was one of 4 Proteus-class colliers built for the U.S. Navy. It was a whopping 540-foot long and 60-foot wide vessel. Its height, though, I couldn't find, but I'm sure it's big.
Listeners, if any of you know, drop it in the comments or in our Discord, which is open to the public.
Yes. The ship was scheduled to go on February 16, 1918 from Rio de Janeiro, Brazil to Baltimore, Maryland, and was holding 10,800 tons of manganese ore. 3 things to note.
1. Before leaving, there was a report sent out that the starboard engine, located in the front right of the vessel, had a cracked cylinder. Again, bad parts.
2. The ship was overloaded by over 2,000 tons. USS Cyclops' maximum capacity was only 8,000 tons, yet was holding well over 10,000. It was like 10,800 or something like that.
Oh my gosh. And 3, once at sea, she made a pit stop in Barbados due to the water level being over the Plimsoll line, which indicates the legal limit that a ship can be loaded in order to safely maintain buoyancy. I'm seeing a lot of problems here, Yenny.
Yeah. By March 4th, after the pit stop in Barbados, the USS Cyclops went for Baltimore and never arrived.
What happened?
Well, that is where the mystery begins. By April 15th, 1918, about a month after its supposed arrival to Baltimore, the U.S. Navy announced it was lost. In June of that same year, Assistant Secretary of the Navy, and later our 32nd President, Franklin D. Roosevelt declared the vessel lost and her crew deceased.
Even with holding 306 crewmen and a ton of metal due to its size, neither the ship nor crew have ever been found?
That's right. Due to the ship operating during World War I, there were theories that the Imperial German Navy might have taken the vessel, but the German Navy has been denying any involvement since its disappearance and even after the end of the war, too. Other theories use the information of the report of the USS Cyclops' cracked cylinder and overloaded condition to say the ship sank after being hit with rough weather, which makes sense.
But we still have no, that does make sense, but we have, no debris, crewmen, any sort of physical remainder of the ship?
Another theory came from the manganese ore it was transferring. The ore could have perhaps gotten wet, turning it into a slurry-type material, which could have possibly made the ship list or start falling to one side, and ultimately capsize the entire vessel. Yet, the final answer given to everyone was that the vessel probably sank in an unexpected storm. But the real cause? Nobody knows. And as Sarah mentioned, how is it possible that even with all these theories, no actual account of wreckage or lives within the boat have ever been found? Even in this day and age, where we have powerful technology to help us find wreckage, how could we not find a 540-foot-long ship?
Oh my gosh. To this day, the National Museum of the U.S. Navy states the ship has never been found, labeling it a mystery of the war. But I'm beginning to understand why people are starting to view this as less of a mystery and more of a potential supernatural cause. Because the Titanic sank in 1912 and was found in 1985. Granted, she was almost double the size of the USS Cyclops, but I'm certain a 540-foot-long vessel would be captured on sonar by now. Things that big just don't disappear.
I also think it's eerie, that the ship was called the USS Cyclops.
I'm telling you, it's bad omens.
Poseidon fathered quite a few of them. So for it to get lost at sea, I know it's a stretch, but come on.
I'm with you on this. On this, okay?
Yeah. Speaking about how things don't just disappear, let's stay on the topic of ships and cover one more story about them in the Bermuda Triangle. Now, we know that the large vessels have disappeared without distress signal, completely going silent. But what if I told you that some ships were actually found, but holding no life in it?
I'm sorry, I beg your pardon.
Ghost ships are something straight out of a horror movie.
Ah,
and
great!
It's very much real. Vessels with no crew in them have been found both at sea and washed up ashore, all of which passed through the Bermuda Triangle. The craziest part?
This was not the craziest part?
Nope. The vessel is in perfect condition. Nothing broken, nothing off, just empty of its crew.
This is giving me Pirates of the Caribbean vibes, but not in a good way, in the I'm going to have nightmares kind of way.
I mean, like I said, we have a documented account of this. On December 2nd, 1920, the ship Carol A. Deering was on her way back from Brazil and entered the Bermuda Triangle. First bad thing she should never been there.
No, Carol. No.
No, Carol. Why? Before ultimately, but not surprisingly, losing contact.
Of course.
On January 31st, 1921, the ship was seen on the Outer Banks of North Carolina. Due to bad weather, no rescue ship could go and see if there was anyone on board, and would have to wait for several days before going in for the rescue. Now, upon accessing the ship, they made a startling discovery. The ship was completely abandoned. There was some damage, including the ship's log and navigation equipment gone, as well as the crew's belongings and, interestingly, 2 lifeboats missing. The government launches an investigation, overseen by future President Herbert Hoover. Now, Sarah, you weren't wrong to think of Pirates of the Caribbean, for the government concludes it was an act of piracy. The crew turned on their captain and went with modern pirates. Many agreed it was the working of pirates. But why would they leave a perfectly capable ship on its own? Wouldn't they take it, just like Blackbeard did?
Check out Season 1, Episode 31, where we cover the notorious pirate and all things piracy.
Waterspouts, hurricanes, and even mutiny were also theorized. But there is still no clear answer as to why the ship was left and where the crew went.
I'm telling you, I want definitive answers, and I'm very disappointed right now.
Well, not all hope in finding the answer is lost, Sarah.
Okay.
There is a scientific explanation that could very well be the answer that we seek.
Okay.
A phenomena that has occurred and been documented. Calenture, aka madness at sea. Wild. This is wild to me.
All right.
When a sailor goes through calenture, which is like a feverish delirium due to the heat in the tropics, they have an irresistible urge to jump out and into the sea. Whole crews have been known to do this.
Are we sure this isn't Sirens? Could it possibly be? I mean, we do know their singing can be deadly, captivating a sailor, bringing them to their untimely death. It could be.
Maybe they're Bermuda Sirens. I mean, listen, if they're between the Florida Keys, Puerto Rico, and Bermuda, the music?
It's great.
The music.
It's great. A little bit of reggae, a little bit of salsa. I'd jump over the ship to join the party too.
Exactly. And the food, Sarah. Hello. Fish sandwiches, mofongo. And some arroz con frijoles. Forget it, yeah? I'm out there.
All right.
Why leave the triangle? I get it.
Right. And if it's not Sirens, It's not. Did you grow up watching the movie Muppet Treasure Island? Do you remember?
I have not. You just
no.
No. I watched it. You just right here.
I was gonna say, do you
Unlocked
remember
memory.
We've got cabin fever and we're all going mad? Listen, they had some Cuban influence there. They had some salsa. They had a little bit of everything.
Why would you leave?
They were having a great time. I'm just saying. But in all due respect, Yenny, all of these stories have been about ships.
Yes.
I'm greatly distressed by them. Now it's your turn. It's your turn to be more distressed. Because did I recall you mentioning planes have disappeared as well?
Yes, that's right. And the reason why I left planes for the end is because I have severe flight anxiety. And so
I know you do.
Yeah, this kills me. Also, just a side note, the only way I can get on a plane is if I have a double shot of gin and tonic right before stepping on the plane. Because if I am not just a little bit tipsy, I cry the whole flight. The whole flight.
Honey, no.
And then Alex tips the flight attendant $20 and they keep bringing me the little bottle. So I become the pilot of the plane.
Great. Wonderful.
Point,
good,
Alex.
Good,
send
Alex.
the other one. Let's go. Another turbulence. Woo! That's me. All right. Our final story for this episode is actually the most famous one of the Bermuda Triangle, which is the mystery of Flight 19 and the Martin Mariner. Before I get into the story, I just have to tell you that here is where the real supernatural theory comes in the form of wormholes, time warps, and as Sarah started this episode, teleportation.
Buckle up, listeners.
On December 5th, 1945, around 2 p.m., 5 TBM Avenger torpedo bombers left Fort Lauderdale, Florida, on a routine training flight to conduct bombing runs east of the Florida coast and over the Grand Bahama Island. The group of 5 airplanes, one of which held their flight's leader, was called Flight 19. First half of the training went according to plan. But then things took a strange and ultimately unfortunate turn.
Oh dear.
An hour or so into their flight, Fort Lauderdale's flight tower received a message from Lieutenant Charles C. Taylor, Flight 19's leader, stating that he could not see land and seemed to be off course. The tower responded, asking for their position. And a few moments of silence later, Lieutenant Taylor says, "Repeat, cannot see land."
Oh, no.
For 10 minutes, Fort Lauderdale Tower lost contact with Flight 19 completely, only to regain contact, but hear one of the pilots saying,
"We can't be sure of any direction. Everything looks strange, even the ocean."
This was strange, for the weather forecast was normal, aside from some scattered showers. Even stranger was the pilot who had answered was not Lieutenant Taylor. Tower personnel found on intercepted transmissions that Lieutenant Taylor had turned over his command to another pilot without any reason, just because. Which, again, especially like in Army, U.S. Navy and stuff, like that's not something normal. Like you have to have an explanation as to like why you're turning over because, of the hierarchy and stuff like that. 20 more minutes pass of radio silence when suddenly the new leader radios in. But this time, his voice is shaky, and he sounds like he's bordering on hysteria.
We can't tell where we are. Can't make out anything.
Exactly how Sarah said it is exactly how it came out, where it was coming in and out. There was a few more words exchanged, all incoherent. And finally, the last words ever heard from Flight 19 were,
"It looks like we're entering Whitewater. We're completely lost."
Immediately, Tower personnel sent 2 Martin PBM Mariner flying boats to rescue the team, heading towards their last known position. 10 minutes into that rescue mission, again, things took a turn for the worse. One of the rescue planes had also gone radio silent.
Oh my gosh.
For the next 5 days, the Coast Guard and Navy would search more than 250,000 square miles of the Atlantic and Gulf waters, finding nothing.
Oh.
To this day, no airplane, wreckage, or even life raft has been found.
Oh my
and
gosh.
While investigations were launched, there was never a conclusive answer to the missing planes. No survivors or bodies were ever found either. A total of 27 lives were lost, 14 from Flight 19 and 13 from Martin PBM Mariner. While it could very well be from natural causes, many speculate that the Bermuda Triangle holds something out of a sci-fi film, a time warp or wormhole, a hypothetical tunnel through space-time connecting 2 different points of the universe. And while it may sound crazy to some, how else can we explain the countless disappearances with no tracks left behind? Even more, let's recount what the new leader of Flight 19 had said. Everything looks strange, even the ocean. It could very well be because he was in the middle of warping to another place, timeline, dimension, what have you. I mean, Sarah, what do you think?
I think it's really interesting that here we have these occurrences decades in the past, and today, here in the 2020s, we have a fascination with the idea of alternate dimensions and, converging and separating timelines and all of this sort of interesting dimensional and timeline sci-fi theory that it didn't just start here. Like, we've been fascinated by this concept forever. So of course people are still speculating that this is one of the causes. It could be an absolutely natural cause that we just haven't figured out because we haven't figured everything out with science. There's still things to discover.
Yeah.
And as all of us are horrifyingly aware, the ocean has so many secrets that we are very much drawn to. But this is a reflection of the fact that mankind is always interested in a natural theory and a supernatural theory and wondering, when does natural become supernatural? When does supernatural become natural?
Oh, good way to end it, girl. Now, to begin the end of this very mysterious episode, if the Bermuda Triangle isn't terrifying enough...
Are you about to give me more reasons to have nightmares?
Oh, you have no idea. I have to report that it isn't the only deadly triangle in the world, my dear listener.
Of course not!
South of Tokyo, Japan is the Dragon's Triangle, said to hold its own slew of paranormal naval activities. But we'll leave that for a later episode.
One section of nightmare-inducing parts of the world at a time, people. Please. Please.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much for this terrifying and mysterious episode, Yenny.
You're
leaving
welcome.
us with more questions than answers.
It's what I do best.
You love to do that, don't you? I'm never going near the ocean ever again. So,
Yes, you
anywho,
are.
on to modern media.
All right, History Channel's The Bermuda Triangle Into Cursed Waters has 2 seasons, the second streaming on Hulu. Travel with an elite team as they search for truths behind these deadly waters, which honestly, it's like the same as this episode. They don't find much truth.
Of course,
Of course.
not.
Most of the time, it's just like, huh? Just like the cat meme going, huh? Like,
well, at least something that has a little finality to it. The
Uh-huh.
original Scooby-Doo series has an
Of course.
episode specially for us today. A creepy tangle in the Bermuda Triangle.
I love that you love Scooby-Doo so much.
I love Scooby-Doo.
Superman's Fortress of Solitude has been relocated to the Bermuda Triangle in some storylines. I don't read the comics, so I wouldn't know, but yeah. Mm-hmm.
And lastly, the 2009 psychological horror film Triangle takes place in, you guessed it, the Bermuda Triangle. It's got weird timelines in it. It's got a ghost ship. It's got insanity. It's got everything we covered here. So.
Nice. Yeah. Thank you so much for spending
Yenny,
time with
what would you like for our siren call today?
Our siren call? Oh my God, I didn't write the siren call.
That's all right. We have so many bits of media right here for you to choose from. It's a choose your own mystery adventure here in the Bermuda Triangle because, that always ends well. I mean, start your adventure, report back to us so that we know you made it home safely.
I mean, look, if you want, start off with the psychological horror film, and then when you're too scared, continue on with Scooby-Doo.
There we go.
And then when you want to get into the real stuff, you go into the Bermuda Triangle.
Perfect. I love this.
So,
I love
the Bermuda Triangle into cursed waters. Don't go into the Bermuda Triangle.
Yeah, no. Just there. Our modern media list is your siren call today, and report back to us in our Discord, which again is open to the public. We would love to hear your thoughts on the Bermuda Triangle. Do you have theories of your own as to what's going on there? We want to keep the discussion going even after the episode. So the link to our Discord will be in the show notes, and we are looking forward to maybe unraveling some more mysteries with you here in the near future.
Yes. And we're so excited. Season 2 has started off with a bang.
Oh, we're having a great time. We're having a great time.
This is our second time doing this on-film thing, which is new to us, mainly because we cannot be in our PJs and we're wearing makeup. But it's okay.
No.
It's fine. Because for
we're making this work.
For you, we do it. Because we love you guys. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We're so excited, like we've kept saying in these past few episodes. Season 2 is going to be just absolutely a great time. We hope that this year we get to see you in person as well. We're hoping to try to see if we can make some things happen. So,
we're working on a lot of things.
So, bye, guys.
Bye.